Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Basically today, I went on a little shopping expedition because I saw this meme floating around a couple years ago, and it still goes through my feed from time to time on Facebook or wherever. And basically it's this picture. I'll put it up on the screen for you. Basically, it's like, oh, I went to the grocery store and I bought this thing of grapes and a watermelon and a bottle of water and it cost $16, and this is why poor people can't afford to eat healthy, and that's not true at all. And in this video, I'm going to prove to you that you can eat very healthily on a budget. Now, this is my receipt. The total is about $75 with tax. I don't know if you can see it there. Focus. There we go. Yeah, of course it's backwards, but $70.64 and then $4 for... Oh no, it was $70.64 and I got $4 change, true. Anyway, so we're gonna go food item by food item here. I'm gonna talk about them, and I'm gonna go over why they're healthy. And this is basically a complete list of food. There were some things that I didn't get that I recommend that everybody get, like for example, potatoes, white potatoes. I didn't get that today, but we have 15 pounds of them right here. So I mean, I'm not going to spend money on things I don't need for a video, but just so you know, that's healthy. Another thing that I didn't get was that I do recommend is whole grain spaghetti, just because they didn't have any. I would have got some more, but I'm going to go through it all with you guys, so let's begin. So I guess first of all we'll go through the protein sources. And keep in mind, I'm not bulking right now. I'm not really cutting either. I'm just trying to keep myself, I'm trying to basically recomp a little bit, lose a little bit of body fat, put on muscle. Basically the first thing here, chicken thighs. These are not skinless, they're not boneless, so you do have to prepare them a little bit more. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. Basically what I'll do is I'll put these in with a rice dish and a little bit of onion and garlic, and that will taste really good. That was $9.11. So next thing we got here is eggs. Now, eggs are a wild card because a lot of times when you go to the store they're like $4 for a dozen. If you live in Canada and if you have a Shoppers Drug Mart near you, go ahead and go there and you will find that the eggs are almost always on special. The idea is to get people into the store to buy the eggs and they'll buy more stuff. Now, I was at No Frills today, which is I think it's like Loblaws or something like that. Basically, dozen eggs, $2. I got 3 dozen because I go through eggs. What does my girlfriend say? Like a fox goes through a chicken coop or something like that. So I got 3 dozen, and they're a really cheap source of protein, and eggs are a good source of fat as well. Probably not as good as fish, but we're all right. So the next thing that I got here, I got a ham. This is a pre-cooked ham. It is certainly processed, not to the extent that bacon is, but it is processed. So be aware. But if you look at the macros, the whole thing is 800 grams. In 55 grams. You get to have 2.5 grams of fat, not bad. 1 gram of carbohydrates, 9 grams of protein. So keep in mind that's 60 calories. That's not going to fill anybody up, but you're going to have more than one slice, I would assume. And that's a lot of protein, not a lot of fat to begin with. This was $4.99. Which pork is usually full of fat, so That's a good thing. So we got some lean ground beef. This was $4.50. I use that for my spaghetti. I will be cooking that tomorrow, and I have some already prepared. Okay, so next thing, protein. We got some Greek yogurt. This brand was on sale. I also got this. This is plain. This is blueberry. This obviously has a lot less carbs than this does here. They both have 0% fat, so you don't have to worry about that there. Not a whole lot of sodium in either one of these. It's pretty much all protein in the plain one, and in the blueberry flavor, yeah, it's got some carbs, but again, I'm not on a strict diet here. I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, so this was $4 and the other one was like about the same, only because this was on sale. Lastly, got some tilapia here. Now this is probably the most expensive item on the list. This is straight up frozen fish. In one of these, this was like $8, I think. Tilapia is a good source of protein, very lean. The fat is very good. You know, you got your omega-3s and 6s in here. Good to go. Great source of that. All right, now to the vegetables. Now, as you may or may not know, vegetables, they're very important for your micronutrients. A lot of guys who are really just concerned about either lifting or aesthetics or whatever, and they're not so concerned with their health, they neglect this, they get sick. Take a week off from the gym, you lose your gains. So what I recommend, if you want your leafy greens, this is a bundle of spinach. This was $2.50. Doesn't exactly say the amount that is on here. But I mean, that's a lot of spinach. Pretty much the same thing now. I got some kale. It's remotely, just a little tiny bit different from spinach in terms of micronutrition. It's pretty much the same density of nutrients. Very, very good for you. Again, leafy greens. I somehow tied like some sort of like a sailor's knot on here, so I can't really get it out. But trust me, if you don't like the taste of spinach, try kale, because spinach kind of has a bit of a weird, like sweet, tangy taste to it. I don't really like spinach for that reason. Sometimes I'll just put it in one of my shakes and be done with it or whatever, or suck it up really and just have it on the side. But I like to have kale in my breakfast sandwiches, which I make with like plain bagels and eggs and sometimes bacon and fat-free cheese, which is, you know, but so the next thing we got is a sack of Red Delicious apples. Oh yeah, by the way, no, the kale was $1.47 for that entire bundle. That's a lot of kale. So again, if you think you're too poor to afford vegetables, and somehow you can afford a $17 bag of grapes, I don't know what to tell you. You need some lessons in financial literacy. So this is a bag of apples. This was, I think, $6. Again, one of the more expensive items, but again, there are a lot of servings in here. I like the taste of Red Delicious apples. It doesn't really matter what variety you get, as long as you get some kind of apple. You know, apples are good for you. You know, you've got a lot of micronutrients in here. If you eat the skin, there's a lot of fiber. Really tasty too. I don't know, I've been on diets many times where I've literally just considered going on some sort of a cinnamon toast crunch binge, and these have saved my life. So if you're cutting, if you're trying to maintain like me, these are the way to go. Okay, probably the most unhealthy item on this list that I got was some pre-made ragu. Again, I do have that spaghetti video. Please believe that every single time that I make spaghetti, I do not make that entire dish on my own. It takes a lot of time, but this is one of those items where if I'm having a really long day, I have to make this food really quick. I don't want to spend an entire like 2 hours making food. This is the way to go. And this was $1.33. Okay, so I got my bananas. This was, let me check the slip here, because it depends on the weight on these guys. Yeah, I spent $1.77. $1.77 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bananas. So I eat about a banana a day when I'm on them. Now these are green, okay? Please believe I do not eat green bananas, but they are, they're really tasty. I don't know, they got that potassium, they keep me going. They're higher, I guess, in carbs, you know, not a whole lot. I mean, if you eat an entire diet based on bananas, this is just, these were $2 each. This brought my bill up a little bit. Paprika and basil leaves. Basically, when I cook my tilapia, I put some paprika on there. I also put it on my potatoes. I'll make a potato video for you guys later, some other day. Basil leaves I put in my chicken and rice dish with the chicken thighs, some onion and garlic, some rice, and yeah, these are $2 each. Spices are a big part of keeping a diet going, because I don't know how many of you guys eat chicken and rice all the time, or you eat steak, or not steak, steak's good, you know, the same, you know, ground beef every day, or I don't know, you know, eggs, fish, whatever. That stuff gets boring because it's very bland after a while. So one of the biggest things that you can do is get spices to make new recipes, try soups, try new stir fries, that sort of thing. Keep yourself entertained with your food, because I don't know about you, but I don't want to eat plain chicken breast and plain brown rice for the rest of my life. Even if it's not healthy, I'm not eating that for the rest of my life every meal. So I am going to spice up my foods. We got onions, white or yellow onions. These were, I think, like $1.50, something like that. Again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where did I count that one? 5 or 6 yellow onions. Good to cook up with different things like steak. Again, chicken and rice. I make it with that. Sometimes I throw in some onion with my potatoes. All kinds of different dishes have just chopped onion in it, and you can't forget that. Sometimes I make spaghetti with that in it too. Vegetable soup, that's another one. Okay, so I got 3 carb sources, but I'll go over some other ones that are cheap. This was $1.47 for 900 grams of white rice. This is about, I'd say like 6 or 7 meals of white rice, depending on how much you eat. I throw about a cup dry every time I make a chicken and rice dish, fish and rice. Usually I cook a cup at a time. So yeah, it's all really anywhere from 4 to 7 servings per package of this. I mean, you can't go wrong. Now, people, you probably are wondering, why didn't you get brown rice? Brown rice is the same in terms of macronutrition, or micronutrition and macronutrition, except for the fact that brown rice has more fiber, like significantly so, and it's got a different taste. So it's really up to you. You know, people always talk about, you know, it's like a faster, it's not a complex carb. Well, it really is when you compare this to something like table sugar. So white rice will not kill you, I promise. Next thing, we got some oats. This was, let me check here real quick, because I don't want to lie to you guys. Got the receipt. $2.77. Oatmeal is it's very tasty. You could put honey on this, or a little bit of stevia, some sugar, whatever, as long as you don't go crazy with it. And even on its own, it's good. It's good for baking. Now, it's a really good carb source. A lot of protein. Well, protein as far as, you know, your carb sources are concerned. It's got 5 grams for half a cup. A lot of fiber. One of the big things about oat fiber is that if you have cholesterol issues, along with, you know, proper cardiovascular regimen, it can help you reverse the plaque buildup of your arteries. I'm not saying this is a miracle cure. This is certainly not enough to fix the problem if your lifestyle is not on point, but very good. Especially, okay, $2.77, can't go wrong. This is enough to last me like 2 weeks. Okay, lastly, got some black beans. 77 cents for this entire can. This is about 2 to 3 servings for me, depending on what I'm making. I'll cook this up with some ground beef, or sometimes, because this is going to sound disgusting, but I'll cook it up with a can of tuna. I won't cook the can of tuna, but or sometimes I'll put it in with some chicken breast. If you're on a diet, you're really sick of chicken and rice, try drenching the chicken in salsa and black beans. It tastes like it's Taco Tuesday, basically. Again, 77 cents, you can't go wrong. A lot of fiber. Okay, I think we all know about the fact that beans are high in fiber, so use them with caution. Very good. And so guys, that is it for today, but we got a bonus round, okay? Remember how I told you about the potatoes? Okay, why does Scott have 20 pounds of potatoes? This is the time of year where you can get them really, really cheap. So I think that time has passed, sadly, by the time I made this video, but sometimes in the fall, this is the autumn period, I mean, look, you can see it's dark out and it's like 8 o'clock. I mean, you know, when is it not at 8 o'clock? But it's dark at 5, okay? So autumn time, potatoes are everywhere. So the market gets flooded with potatoes, and all of a sudden sometimes you see deals where you can get 20 pounds for $5, and that's the deal that we struck. Another thing that you want to get is carrots or sweet potatoes or any other like orange colored food, carotenoids. Very good for you. I'm a really big fan of those particular, anything orange really. Those are the vegetables that I really enjoy to eat. I find the taste is very good. And again, the last thing is whole grain spaghetti. I am a big proponent of the whole grain variety, and it's not necessarily because I think that white pasta is bad. If you eat it, then you're the devil. I don't think that, okay? Okay, number one, let's get this out of the way. I prefer the taste of whole grain wheat foods. So whole grain pasta, whole grain bread, pretty much whole wheat anything. That's what I enjoy the taste of as opposed to white. Secondly, high in fiber. Like I said before with the fiber thing with the rice, you know, having lower fiber isn't going to kill you, but you need to get your fiber in for the day. Again, context there, that's what I meant by that. So you have to get your fiber in for the day, but not everything has to be, you know, extremely high in fiber. And again, this is only like $1.77, so calm down. Alright, so that's it for today. Again, that whole grocery list was $70. Oh, yeah, no, I forgot, I'm tripping here. 6 Gatorade, $5. Now these are, the thing with these is that I will drink one of these after I train before I go do my cardio, just to make sure that I'm not gonna, you know, pass out or some shit like that. That's never happened to me before, but I like to keep my electrolytes up, just, you know, just in case, and to keep me powered at 100% at all times. But you don't need these. Alright, so that's it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video. So if you did, actually, please go down into the section there and like the video. If you saw anything that kind of confused you, or if you want to talk about certain foods, by all means, let's do it in the comments section. I'd love to talk to you guys, see what your opinion on my diet is. And again, this whole grocery shopping excursion is tailored to my lifestyle. You don't have to get everything that was on that list, especially like if you're lower, if your budget per, I guess, grocery trip is significantly lower. This is probably going to last me about 2 weeks. But again, I also have food right now in the fridge that I need to eat before I start on any of this. And yeah, so if your lifestyle is different from mine, you can by all means change what you buy, especially if your stores have different prices. But this is just a video to pretty much bust the myth that eating healthy is expensive, because it's really not.